All right, welcome to another back, and just like every back I do, every one of them is just a little bit different, just a little bit. This one is showing that. Hold on, let me press play here, and I can kind of show you a little bit better. Um, so we got to. We have this room. We have this room we're going to use. Okay, making sure we're not hitting any of it, and we have a pole here that I'm too lazy to move out of the way, just in case I needed to. Now, I knew it was there. I should have actually moved it a little closer to make it a little bit harder for myself, but just make it pretend that there was a trailer there or something. But this is actually a tough back to get into, and with your axles all the way back, it is actually impossible to do with this particular setup if there is a trailer here, because you need a lot more room when your axles are all the way to the back. All right. You worry less about a swing, but you got to worry more about the room you have. Now, this is a back that is just a little bit more. You just don't have the setup. You don't have the real estate. All right. Now, I could have just kept turning and then doing a blind side, but we're always going to try to avoid a blind side. Now, if you are backing up into this space, we got to remember safety is number one thing, right? What can you do to make this the safest thing ever? Well, go ahead and move this pole out of the way. There we go. And then back up into this space and then move over. Or at least you can use this space. And that's what you need to do. Always make the space as easy as possible. Now the only option to go in here pretty much is to use this space over here and kind of let's look over here. Sometimes you're not able to even tell if you have the space. All right, so that's why you'll go ahead and move this out of the way. So, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, let me just explain. All right, I am sorry if you dislike the steering tire inside in the steering wheel. Tough. This is how it's staying. If I have a video of my steer tire, this is where it's going. So you guys can stop commenting on the fact you don't like it. Well, a lot of people do like it, but I want to. The steering wheel is number one. We have to have a steering wheel because I want to show you what is actually happening. All right, and then I always recommend watching it at least twice, just so you can look at a different view. All right, where you can focus on this one and then this one. But anywho, so let's go ahead and start going. Now, when do I start turning? Well, I wasn't really given a choice. I obviously I'm going to miss this pole here, and I was keeping everything as much as I could to the left. All right, my goal is just to miss here. So that's telling me when I'm turning. So I'm turning so I can miss this. So what is going through my head at the moment? So let's look. First of all, I have to miss this pole. All right, so I will miss it with the hood, but then I got to make sure that the corner is not going to hit. All right, now you can't see it in this bottom mirror, so it'll be this bottom mirror where it's going to show up. All right, here it is right there. As you can see, the front of the trailer on the left here. It has the possibility. Chances are not, but always look anywho. All right, always look. All right, as you can see, we can't see it over here on this mirror, but you can see it down here. So now we can stop looking over here. So let me just, sorry, forgive me here. Let me just back up for a second. So that being said, so if we look over here, we have the dumpster, we have the curb, and this is where I'm going to end up landing. I'm basically pointing towards this general area. Hard left, hard left. So I'm looking out the window here for a second. Back again. Okay, so this is what I have to ask myself. Now, my trailer is set up really well. All right, and I'm liking it. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a jackknifing starting off. All right, but every time you jackknife, you got to. I can't just really hard jackknife and hold it for a long time, because if that's the case, then I'm going to be dipping into the area over here where the dumpster is and the trees. And all right, so you got to, like, the most concern that I have right now is everything on the right hand side, so the front of my truck does not hit. That is what I'm really focusing on right now. I pretty much know that my trailer is not going to hit anything until it gets to this particular point. So my main concern right now is that my truck does not hit anything over here on the right. So I gotta ask myself as well, when I'm done setting up, every single time when I am done setting up, I ask myself. So let's look in this mirror over here, right? Or if I get my steers pointing in a straight line, if all I'm doing is driving my truck in a straight line, will it hit anything? All right. So like if I was let's get to a position here in a second now, right? So I'm jackknifing right now. So now, the more I jackknife, the more let's go ahead and point over here. The more my truck is going to point towards over here. Okay, so I got to ask myself, can I chase from this position? So if I crank it hard to the left, will the swing of my truck hit anything over here? And I do believe it will. All right, so I got to be very careful. All right, so now I got my steers pointing straight. Will anything hit? When can I start chasing it? All right. Obviously, there's a lot going on over here. All right, so there's multiple things. So I'm going to start off with the truck part, and then we're going to talk about what's going on over here. Over here. So now I'm going to start chasing it. Now I believe I have the room. If I keep cranking it all the way to the left right now, the front of my truck is going to go to the right. All right, until I got to this point, and I was like, you know what? I do believe that I'm going to end up hitting this curb. So I'm going to point my steer straight. That's it. I'm not going to turn it all the way to the right. All I want to do is point it straight where my truck is driving in a straight line. And then when it gets out of the way, I can use the area over here. There we go. Missed it. So I'm still looking over here, making sure that I'm not hitting anything. All right, let's look at the trailer for a second. So right now my trailer is parallel to the line. It is in the space, and ideally it would be nice if I already had a straight back going, which is fine. I never plan on actually backing up in one shot. I always plan to pull forward. I always do the safest back and then pull forward for a straight back. So I'm going to keep going till my trailer. Let's look at this video. Let's look at this part over here, right? All right. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and rewind it till the start of the back, if you forgive me. So now that I've dealt with the importance of watching everything. So every time you start turning to the left, you got to look to the right to make sure your front of the cab is not going to hit anything. Are we in agreement with that now? Okay. Promise. Every time you start turning to the left, look to the right, make sure that swing isn't going to hit. Okay. Fine. Okay, where are we? So, first of all, we made sure that my axles were past the spot, because if my axles were over here, all right, they'd end up over here. All right, so obviously these are imaginary lines. Now, eventually you'll get the skill or the foresight to actually draw lines on the ground with your mind. The better you get at this. All right, and so right now, let's have a look. So it's actually at the corner of the trailer. So the corner of the trailer, basically where that shadow starts. So that's the line. Okay, so we're jackknifing immediately. Now, if I didn't jackknife immediately, I would have hit this pole over here. Now, how do I know I'm not going to hit this pole once I can't see it? Well, I'll answer that in a second. So we're looking good. My trailer is not quite parallel, but it's getting there. All right. So obviously, I'm starting to chase it right now, because I need to straighten myself up. I pretty much already know that I'm not going to be doing this in one shot. I know that I'm going to be doing a pull forward. So it's still looking good. And I'm going to keep going. Alright? Even beyond parallelness, if that's even a word. So right now this is parallel. But I'm going to keep going because I know I need to pull forward. And when I pull forward, it'll start straightening me up. Okay, so pointing towards the wall. So we look forward. All right, making sure we can pull forward, make sure we're not going to hit the dumpster. So I crank it all the way to the right, and I pull forward, and I stop before I hit the dumpster. Now, of course, where the camera's position is obviously that I'm not going to hit the dumpster, but where I'm sitting, it kind of looks like I am, so I stop, and I'm all right with that. I could have stuck my head out the window and looked if I wanted to, but I didn't. But I could have, and you can too. So I look in, so I can't, this pole here, I can't quite see, but I will be able to see it in just a second. So hard left to straighten myself up in the shortest distance. Okay, so now I'm happy. Here is the pole, no longer going to hit that pole. Now, let's rewind this for a second. Okay. So I want the front of the trailer to go to the left. All right. Remember now, I always talk about maneuvering the front of the trailer. All right. That's what we're trying to do. The kingpin is controlling the trailer. I mean, the position, and you know what I mean. As in, like, so if I want the back of the truck to go to the left, oh, well, I'm all disoriented. Sorry. If I want the back of the trailer to go to the right, all right, I turn the steering wheel to the left. Okay. So I want the front. Remember now, if I want the front of the trailer to go to this way, all right, I want to see what's happening. Let me just make sure I didn't confuse myself here on that one. So everything's sideways and upside down, and then mirrors and everything. All right, so left mirror, right mirror. If I want the front of the trailer to go to the left, we turn to the left. Okay. Now the reason why that was happening, all right, even though I started to turn to the right, that was me correcting it. So it's a bit of a balancing act. It's all good. And now I'm happy. All right, well that is this back. Now I've got some other ones in the pipeline that I'll be putting out pretty soon. And yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Visit my website. No, it's just a lot more of these kind of videos that are already on YouTube, but this way you don't have to look for them. And yep. All right. Yes. Subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff. Good luck. Bye bye.